Alright, I aired the Silverado up and brought it outside. As you can tell, it's still missing the door handles, it's still missing the front valance, all that important stuff, but still halfway looks like a truck, but I just haven't worked on it whatsoever. That's why I haven't been posting anything. Truck's just been sitting in the shop collecting dust. I threw the center caps in it when I aired it up to bring it out here, but just so they weren't sitting on a shelf collecting dust. I started sanding the bed. I don't remember if I had posted that or not, but sanded most of the inside of the bed. I still have the front up here to do, and then the back side of the tailgate. So it's been progressively getting colder here in Missouri. Today is pretty warm, but those days are pretty limited for the next 3 or 4 months. So I talked to Doug about possibly just pulling the bed off and bringing it back over to him to spray it in his shop where it's warm. I got to pull the bed off anyway because I got to shorten these rear shock mounts because the bed floor is sitting on the shock mounts. I don't know if it's got any. Yeah, you can see it's teetering on there. But yeah, other than that, I haven't done anything with the truck whatsoever. It's got a bunch of Christmas presents stored in it. It's been kind of in my way sitting in the shop, but I pulled it out, pulled the wife's beetle out. I've been trying to clean up in here a little bit. It still looks like a disaster, but it's a little bit better than it was. But I figured if I could get those cars out of here, I can move some of these other cars around that don't work. The lawnmowers are in here and very much in my way, so I need to move them over. I need to find a home for these chairs. Might stick them somewhere where Desa can sit down and hang out while I'm out here working. And then Willie's oval window. I think I'm going to move all these cars around. I think I'm going to turn his 90 degrees to where this door, the front of the car is basically where the door is there. And then there's a couple of pallets back here behind his car. So I think I might take this chopped beetle body and stand it up over there on those pallets behind his car. And then these side rails here, these are for doing hay rides and stuff with the trailer. So I bought some cable that I think I might hang them on the wall over here, maybe in these 2 spots, and that'll get them up off the floor, make a little more floor space in here. You would think 50 by 100 would be adamant for floor space, but I always seem to just clutter things up and make a mess, which is why I need to move all this stuff around. So then I'll probably just compile all these Beetle parts over there by the 2 Beetles, and then Desa's Plymouth, stick it over here in this second bank here next to his car. And then I've got Willie's shoebox here too. It's a super nice car. We took this one down to Texas. We drove it down for Lone Star Roundup last year. I got the kids' bikes, all kinds of stuff out here. What I'm thinking is, his car here, the Plymouth here, maybe the side-by-side, the Beetle, and then the Silverado, or some sort of configuration. But I think if I do that, then I can double cars up on this end and maybe park ones that run in front of ones that don't run, so that if they're lined up here, they can swing out and get out of the door. That way the cars are a little easier to maneuver in and out of here. Like I said, the mowers will be moved somewhere in this mix. I got a bunch of cardboard I need to burn. We're supposed to have like a shop night on New Year's Eve, so I might have a little bonfire out there in our burn pile and get rid of some of that stuff. And then I've got like a bunch of aluminum cans. And I've got a whole pile of scrap that I need to haul off. Yeah, it's a disaster out here, and it's actually better than it was. Yeah, there's his shoebox, and then I've got this Beetle here. It belongs to a friend of my brother's. that he had brought it over here to start parting it out, and he hasn't been here in quite a while to work on it. So maybe once I get things sorted where I want them, maybe I'll stick it over here right in front of the door and have him come over, and me and him can knock it out. We can get everything pulled off that we need to, and then haul it for scrap, or I don't really know what his plan is with the car. And then we've got the Tahoe chassis here. I have not touched this thing since last year on New Year's. I started cutting these rockers off to clean it up for setting the C10 cab on the chassis here, because I was planning on using the floor, the dash, to have all the HVAC and all that stuff. And I don't know, a lot of the hard work is done here, but there's still a lot of work that just sucks. And I don't think this is the route I'm going to go with the C10 anymore. So I've got a couple of friends that have said if I wanted to get rid of it, that they would be interested for the LS swap. I haven't started this thing in probably 18 months or so. So it does have a battery in it still, so I probably need to throw that on the charger. Get all these pallets off the front of it and try to start it, see what happens, and maybe move this thing down the road to somebody that's actually going to do something with it. I'm sure people's thought is like, oh, you could use the LS swap still, but if I ever needed a swap, I would just go buy another donor car. I kind of want to swap something with a different motor at some point that's not an LS. I might get into that at a later point, but I've got an idea on something that could be different. And then, yeah, I've got a bunch of tires and C10 parts and some Greed Deuce 20s, 22s. I think they're 20s. And then C10 parts just piled up everywhere, and all kinds of parts on the shelves and junk on the shelves. So I need to start going through some of this stuff, and it's kind of what I've been doing, cleaning the shop. Wife's scooter is just kind of in the way because I pulled it from over here to get the cars out. I just pulled everything, the side-by-side, the Silverado, the Beetle, all the stuff that ran. I guess this runs, but it's not really in the way right now. But I'm going to park all that stuff outside, and more junk. Look at that. I'm going to park it out here under the pole barn where the boats are, just to clean up and work out here. Yeah, I haven't really worked on much lately. I take that back. I've been working on something quite a bit. I just nobody's really seen what I've been working on, and I might show you guys, I might not, I don't know. We're supposed to have a shop night New Year's Eve, so if have some people show up and we get a lot of headway done, I might record some of that through the process and kind of make a video of what we worked on that night. So yeah, wheels. I got so many wheels and tires. I was doing a lot of buying and selling, but these are actually one set that I have for the Jetta. There's actually 3 sets of wheels here. One set, I don't know if I want to talk about those yet. And then I've got 2 sets of C8 Corvette wheels. The fronts are 18 by 9.5 and the rears are 20 by 11. 20 by 11 doesn't really fit anything well, but so I bought 2 sets so I could have 4 fronts, the 19 by 8.5s, and then I've got the 19-inch tires here, and then I've got some adapters, so those will go on my Jetta at some point, and so that'll kind of free up some space there. I might go ahead and get the tires mounted on the wheels later this week, just so they're not taking up so much space. I've got a guy that's interested in the 20 by 11s. If not, I might keep one of those to set it on the shelf and then just scrap the other 3, just to have the space back. I'm going to haul off a load of scrap probably this week just to free up my huge pile that I have over there. some of this stuff is like, I've got like this garden wagon and stuff that probably needs to go in the shed rather than out here. Yeah, I've got quite the load of scrap over here that's very much taking up space, and then I've got tons and tons of wheels and tires. I bought these for the side-by-side, but they're pretty trashed. Those a friend had gave me for some storage fees, and then I've got some others to sell, and then some that are just added to the collection of cool wheels that I've got. I got some Mustang Tri-Bars. Yeah, I need to sell the ones that I need to sell, free up some space out here. I don't do nearly as much buying and selling as I was a year ago, and so I'd like to just finish selling off what I've got, whatever inventory I have, just to free up the extra space. And then we got a 2010 GTI that we drive it occasionally. My wife was talking about maybe wanting to keep it for like a fun car for her to drive. But I don't really think we're going to do that. I've got coilovers for the Jetta and a couple of sets of wheels for it. Of course, the Atlas wheels that are on it. So we might end up selling that GTI, and that was part of the flip fund that I had going on to put concrete out here. If I get that car sold, that'll be a pretty good chunk of money, and then I'll see how big of a pour I can do. I think I'm going to do that on this end, which means I got to move all the stuff out of the shop on this end, get the concrete poured, and then that ought to motivate me to keep working on stuff, and probably take the cars that don't run and store them down on the other end of the shop where the seats ends at. Which brings me back to the Silverado. I don't know if my heart's really in this truck. It's cool. It ran and drove good. I mean, the front suspension geometry was jacked before, but it's got all new good suspension under it now. But I don't really know if I really care about this truck that much. So I'm thinking maybe finish buttoning it up, move it on down the road. Like I said, I've got other projects that I'm working on. The wife's Beetle over there, it got a new wiring harness, but still some of it's not right. The turn signals don't work. Windshield wipers don't work. I think only like one taillight works. Headlights are good. I'd like to put a radio in it and put the needs of the back window put back in. The windshield needs replaced. I've got some money set back to put interior in that car eventually, so maybe do that. But yeah, I'm thinking button this thing up, maybe have it ready to go tax time, move it down the road, move that GTI down the road. We just have too many cars. It feels nice once I move cars out of here and have some space to work around. Eventually, I think I might like to, like the mowers, they take up a lot of space, and then I've got like chainsaw, weed eater, that type of stuff. I'm thinking maybe over there where the Beetle is at right now, maybe box that end in, because it's got, on the other side of Willie's boat there, it has some uprights that I could put a wall up there, and then maybe do like a sliding door, and maybe store the side-by-side and the mowers out there, and chainsaws, all that yard type stuff. But that might be a future project way down the road, but I think that might help. That'll free up a lot of space out here. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Ready to sell some stuff, ready to free up some space in here, ready to pour some concrete in here, and then I think we'll be better off. I mean, other than this nightmare out here of like hating how messy this shop is and not really wanting to clean it up too much just because I need to get concrete on this end and then build some shelves down here to put tools and all that stuff on. Other than that, life is good. Like, I got a promotion at work a while back, so that's kind of cut me back on working on stuff a little bit. But I've kind of picked that up and have a little more free time now, actually. I don't work the overtime that I was working, and the paychecks are a little bit more than they were even with the overtime before, so that's not all bad. And I mean, family's healthy, everybody's happy. Been kind of looking at maybe upgrading boats at some point, or just getting one that's a little bit nicer than ours, because it needs some work. The interior is pretty roached on it, but yeah, that's where we're at with everything. Figured I'd do a little kind of a Silverado update, but more of like a life update, where we're at with everything and kind of some future plans. And like I said, if some people show up on New Year's and we get to working on that other project, I'll probably do a video of that and show how it comes along. But if not, we might hold off on that one, show everybody until maybe the spring whenever it's on the road. But yeah, that's everything.